This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Public solicitors relocate in Port Moresby. Minister Kilepa confirms PNG's attendance to COP27. And visiting Vanuatu delegates farewelled. Good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Rocky Iso. Thank you for joining us. We begin with the Office of the Public Solicitor in Port Moresby, and following 35 years of devoted service in providing a wide range of legal assistance, advice and drafting documents under its civil section of the Public Solicitor Office, the Public Solicitor is moving from its location in Garden City to the Sir Buri Kidu House. This was revealed by the Public Solicitor Leslie Mamu in an interview today. The Public Solicitor's office on the second floor of Garden City has become a home of stacked boxes as the government agency pushes to clear out its office for relocation. In an exclusive interview this morning, the Public Solicitor, Leslie Mamu, spoke on the reasons why relocation was necessary.
We've decided to move there in Waigani because it is closer to the courthouse. The main reason for us moving there is the cost of operation, particularly the fuel and the wear and tear of the vehicles and the risk involved in trying to bring lawyers to court in a very busy traffic between Boroko and Waigani.
Mr. Mamu also gave an indication to the general public on which floors the Public Solicitor's office will be operating from at the Buri Kidu House.
We've got 5 floors, the top 5 floors, that is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. The civil lawyers for the civil clients, they access the civil lawyers on the 7th floor. The crimes clients, they access the crimes lawyers on the 8th floor. And for administration, they access the corporate staff at the 10th floor.
The move will see the Public Solicitor's office cut down costs on certain things, and while the agency is grateful for the government and its incentives to operate, the Public Solicitor Leslie Mamu made this appeal to the government.
Our main challenge, adequate funding to the office in a timely manner, especially when the warrants come in at the 2nd week, at the 3rd week, and our operation is in conjunction with the National Court circuits. And so we're required to receive our funding during the 1st week. But the challenge we have is that we receive it late, and so we appreciate the service providers' accommodation and the travel agents that issue tickets before we make payments. We appreciate their patience in trusting us that in due course we will make those payments.
The move by PubSol signals the end of 3 decades of work. They leave behind their legacy and another empty office space at the once thriving Vision City of the 90s, Garden City. The issue of climate change will be at the forefront, and PNG will be attending the 27th Conference of Parties, which will be held in Egypt. This announcement was made by the Environment, Conservation and Climate Change Minister, Simo Kilepa, yesterday at the Climate Change Headquarters in Port Moresby.
The minister has revealed that the number of delegation he will be leading to Egypt for the conference is 11. He said other government departments' delegation will also be joining them. Minister Kilapa said he will lead a strong and trained PNG delegation to this annual event to negotiate and offer solutions, establish partnerships, advocate for the people, and agree on fast track to keep the planet at or below 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Last year in Glasgow, world leaders' net zero pledges could only limit the temperature to 1.8 degrees Celsius. That is not enough. We need to do more.
The minister also revealed to the media yesterday some of the priority areas that will be taken to the Conference of Parties that include REDD+ and mitigation, where PNG will campaign for inclusion of REDD+ methodology under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, climate change adaptation, Article 6.2 of Paris Agreement, where countries are to fulfill their nationally determined contributions, and loss and damage, where PNG will advocate for loss and damage facility for the Pacific to help Pacific Island countries respond and recover its people, resources, and environment from destructions resulting from climate change. He said as the minister, he will support the priorities and advocate strongly to fast-track our actions to keep the planet below 1.5 degrees Celsius. The minister also added that PNG will also explore bilateral discussion at the conference.
As Minister, I will support our priorities and advocate strongly at our high-level ministerial meetings on decisions that help fast-track our actions to keep our planet below 1.5 degrees Celsius. I will provide an update of the outcome of COP27 and what they mean for PNG in addressing this issue.
An update of the outcome of the conference will be provided upon the return of the team. The 27th United Nations Climate Change Conference is to be held from the 6th to the 18th of November. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape has announced a 10 million kina expansion for KVN Town and urged local landowners to free up land for this purpose. The Prime Minister made the announcement at the recent opening of the KVN Airport upgrade. Prime Minister James Marape was in KVN on Thursday for the opening of the KVN Airport Terminal and infrastructure upgrade, accompanied by local MPs. For KVN Open, Treasurer Ian Lynn Stucking and Namatanai Open member and Minister for Civil Aviation and Transport Walter Schnobel. In his keynote address, Marape referred to KVN as a place of peace and where investors can be confident to invest, and his government is also willing to do the same. The Prime Minister called on local landowners to free up land for expansion in partnership with the government.
You got Nubla ground mona, you like give him, me commit him 10 million kina, lo Nubla put him long KVN Town expansion. Who said man, you all him ground, you like give him, you release him ground, Nubla got policy, lo pangulate government, Nubla not kiss him ground fully. We pay you money, lo you vacate, but you got inherent right, lo ground play here.
Along with the proposed development of KVN Town and the upgraded KVN Airport facilities is a new port for KVN Town.
We will give back to you, and today, as we open this, I want to also talk about opening up KVN Town. I want to also talk about opening up tourism and agriculture and fisheries in New Ireland province. I want to also talk about power generation for reliable power in this province.
The new port, along with the expansion of the town, will see a new look KVN, and Prime Minister Marape took the opportunity to show the return in investment using the airport upgrade terminal as an example.
This one in KVN has a return of 16% plus. 16% plus. You clear talk block business. You put him 100 kina, project complete, let me start work, but you give him 16 kina profit, also talk pizza. Develop any economic enabling infrastructure.
In his closing remarks, Prime Minister Marape challenged the people of New Ireland Province to break away from the status quo and work with government in developing the economy. The visiting delegation of Vanuatu was farewelled yesterday by members of the Pacific Institute of Leadership and Governance in Port Moresby. The Vanuatu delegation in the last 4 days was given a tour of various government departments, observing how these departments function.
The CEO of PILAG, Michael Barrowby, has shared delight to the visitation of the Vanuatu delegation. He said PILAG is always ready to work along with them and tap into a relationship with other Pacific Island nations in the region.
It's my pleasure to end this our meeting on this note. And thank you BPAM and Vanuatu Public Service Commission for coming to Pilak and Papua New Guinea, simply to have a first-hand view and information about what we do here. And you can also take the information, and it's more like you are in here for the educational purpose, so that when you go back, that's how you will set the things up in the Public Service Secretary.
Barabi highlighted that PILAG will visit Vanuatu in 2023 in terms of staff exchange, face-to-face delivery, and to pilot the 2 courses that PILAG has developed that will be delivered by the Vanuatu Institute of Public Administration and Management.
So we'll work together, so that when we work together, BPAM and PILAG working together, we would work with to simply tap into areas in the Melanesian countries and the South Pacific as a whole for the improvement of our public sector capacity, and that we deliver goods and services right to the people where they deserve to be.
Secretary James Malteris highlighted that this courtesy visit has provided a sound knowledge to his team of delegation as to how various departments function.
On how they do things in regards to your respective ministry or department, how you deal with your day-to-day matters, and then now you have a sound knowledge or understanding on how the department here are doing for themselves. And I believe that we will work together and also try to address some of the issues or gap or challenges that we raise this week. And I believe that this partnership will help us will enable us to collaborate more, cooperate more, and also have some forum to have some better understanding, and also look forward for to provide the best service delivery to the citizen of Vanuatu and also for the citizen to PNG.
Malteris revealed that PILAG and VPAM signed an MOU last year and announced that it will be materialized into another platform, and acknowledged PILAG's contributions.
And I believe that this is the way forward for this week visit, and I would like to acknowledge your contribution. I would like to acknowledge the contribution of Director Alan and also the team that you have displayed lots of efforts to complete all the units of the 2 courses that will be delivered by PILAG next year onward.
The Vanuatu delegation has departed the country today. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
A major impact project on alluvial mining on Bougainville has been launched last week at Jaba in the mine tailings of the former Panguna mine. Local landowner company Bakiaroro Limited, in partnership with Windale Investments Limited of Australia, have recently been granted an artisanal license for alluvial mine operations. The landowners, the general public and stakeholders were all present for the alluvial mining launching ceremony, the event much anticipated and looked forward to. Alluvial gold dredging equipment were already assembled and commissioned, and the Bakiaroro project has been permitted and regulated artisanal operation and is the most modern and the largest alluvial gold mining project in the autonomous region of Bougainville. The project was officially launched by the ABG Vice President and Minister for Economic Development, Patrick Nisira, who was the guest of honor.
So on that note, on behalf of the President Ismail Toroma and the people of Bougainville, and I would humbly take this opportunity, this privilege, to officially launch Windale joint venture project today for the prosperity of our own community here, and also on the bigger scale for the prosperity of us all Bougainvillean.
Following Mr. Nasira's speech, the ABG mining minister had this to say about the project.
Building block of Kanabi money will start from here on Bakiroro. Bakiroro shows on us, we like to give Dr.
Ex-combatant and former BRA General Sam Kahona was also present at the event, marking the event's significance in Bougainville's economic journey. This was what his wife elaborated on.
It's a partnership process, and it's a journey where you mean both resource owners and government must work for one time. Yet, me making this in, but at the same time, government need you supporting me. So make sure.
Windale Investment had stated that the license had an excessive 35 million tonnes, which is a lot of material they will need to go through. The ABG will benefit from the taxes and the landowners will benefit from the spin-off. All stakeholders have called on the security of the project, appealing to landowners especially to look after it and, more importantly, manage it properly. National MTV News continues after the break. New studies reveal research important, and police in Western Highlands Province assure government and government agencies of their support. Those stories and more next. You're watching National MTV News. We continue with more national stories. And new studies in any given subject have revealed research is important in any institutions in their academic life as it informs on new information. These were the sentiments of the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Papua New Guinea, Professor Frank Griffin.
Professor Frank Griffin said research will help to update lecture materials so that students coming into university will be able to learn the latest information in their chosen field of studies. He said UPNG has again picked up the research culture, where it has allocated more than 200 million kina towards the research space.
Revive the research culture in this university. We have, over the last 2 years, dedicated 2.5 million kina to support research activities in the university, and slowly but surely the staff are rising up to the challenge to organize themselves, arrange their research topics, and apply for the funds to help them undertake research.
Professor Griffin said the Prime Minister has encouraged the university to do more research and provide quality data from which the government policy can be developed from. He said the government must help assist in funding so that this can be achieved.
Requested if the government can match our research efforts kina for kina. So in the last 2 years, 2021 we allocated 1 million kina, and this year we allocated 1.5 million. So if the government can match our efforts kina for kina, that would mean that if we put 1.5 million for research and the government can support us with an extra 1.5 million, so that would give us a total of 3 million annually.
One of the major goals of UPNG is for research and innovation. Executive Dean for the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Leo Marai, said SHSS has been active in doing research with around 30 proposals submitted for funding to do research.
One of the portfolios, or one of the goals, is for research and innovation, which our school has factored critically into the component of our strategic operational plan 2020-2025. And one of them is to gather all the 13 programs in the school to have cluster research group. It's a compulsory project that all the staff will engage in one single project to get a publication out of in a peer-reviewed journal.
Going forward, the University of Papua New Guinea would like to see more young academics and undergraduates doing research and do publications on different subjects in all different fields of studies in the university. Cynthia Maku, National MTV News.
Police in the Western Highlands Province stand to support the government and its agencies in delivering projects, basic services and development to the people. That's the assurance from Provincial Police Commander John Sagom to the Livestock Development Corporation, which is instrumental in reviving the Baya cattle farm.
Livestock Development Corporation is set to revive the Bayer cattle farm, which was under the Department of Primary Industry previously as per government policy, now under the newly established Livestock Ministry. Western Highlands Provincial Police Commander John Sagom said police there will assist when needed, as this is for a worthy cause to benefit the community.
There for the people, that's right. Who is the state? It's the people. That's right.
This exercise is being supported by the police so that tangible development and services can reach the people of Mulbaya electorate. Livestock Development Corporation Managing Director Terry Coim said the development of the project was for the best interest of the people.
There'll be the investor and there's the landowner. So it's a tripartite kind of arrangement. It's a policy we're trying to roll out in LDC, where we want to partner with the provincial government and the districts and the landowners and the investors.
He also said people needed to communicate with the government in order to understand the benefits associated with such sustainable development programs materializing from national government policies. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
The principal for Oceania Bible College, Reverend William West Poya, said killings in 2022 have reached an unprecedented level in Papua New Guinea. In a press conference today, he made an appeal to the Prime Minister James Marape to set a task force to address the senseless killings in the country.
Reverend Poya said corruption and killing has reached a new level, which are election-related, sorcery and witchcraft accusations, cult practices, sports, ethnic-related, and the recent killing of the senior constable late Nelson Kalimda at Hela province. Reverend Poya said he has never seen such killings before, and as a pastor he cannot just sit and watch while lives of people are lost or taken violently. He said this is of serious concern and must be seriously addressed.
I think that where we are going right now with this kind of killings and that is happening in this nation, there need to be a strong voice condemning, strong action to stop all these things happening. Because otherwise they will become a norm that we will slowly accept and adapt to that and thinking, well, it happens, so let it happen like this. And it needs to be stopped.
William Poya further stated that the ongoing killings are undermining human rights in our constitution, and these are social, economic, and spiritual issues in PNG. He said lawlessness is now becoming a norm, and the need to survive is overcoming the principles to live, and it shows a lack of respect for human life. He calls on the government immediately address this issue.
As a pastor and a church leader, I strongly condemn the killing of innocent lives across the country. And I'm also calling on the Prime Minister to set up a task force. That task force will primarily be responsible for dealing with the killings through investigation, through arresting and prosecuting of those involved.
He stressed that a collective effort is needed from the community leaders, churches, government, and every citizen to stop this ongoing violence in the country. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
To some good news now. In a Catholic agency primary school, health centre and church in Lae, which were closed for 3 months, will reopen next week. Mary Queen of Peace Catholic Primary, Health Centre and Church at Lae's Back Road were closed since the end of July due to an election-related fight.
Mary Queen of Peace Primary School head teacher, Sister Kathy Rarakau, said to cover up for the lost time and lessons, students will be given a home learning pack booklet each, which was given by Child Fund to help students cover up for the missed lessons during their own time.
Going back to school, they issued with these books. HLP, that stands for Home Learning Pack. So they are going to do all these lessons in order to cover up for the missing lessons.
Sister Kathy said the health center receives around 500 patients a day from all over the city, and it will also be reopened next week. For the church, our first Mass was observed last Sunday, and tomorrow will be their second Mass.
Every day around 500 patients, every day, like Monday, people coming from miles, Situm, Bumayong, everywhere to our clinic here.
The reopening comes after a reconciliation ceremony that was held last month between the two ethnic groups who have been using the area as a fighting zone. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Christ the King Catholic Primary School in Lae has received 25 new computers and a printer from Orica PNG. As part of the new education curriculum, computers are important and the help was timely as the school was in dire need of computers and a computer laboratory.
From the school to the
Orica Territory Manager for PNG and Pacific Islands, Dennis Bressard, said the computers were ordered from Australia at a cost of 7,000 kina. He said the computers can deliver performance for the next 5 to 10 years.
And I placed an order for 25 recycled computer that will deliver enough performance for the next 5 to 10 years. Today we give 25 computers and also one printer that was used at the office that we just make an upgrade. We take the opportunity to make an upgrade and basically give us the one that was currently in progress. And also last week at the
Christ the Church head teacher Celestine Kinminja said the new curriculum was in place this year and the teaching staff have no computing materials to work with.
Especially the standard-based curriculum is really challenging and some curriculum that is beyond our time. Our time curriculum was not that.
Kinminja acknowledged Orica PNG's help in donating the computers as well as the mini lab, saying it will help the students in the long run. Basic computing is a strand in the new curriculum that all schools must be able to teach computing to students in primary schools. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after a break. Minister for Tourism says cruise liners to help tourism and a former MP supports a local church. Stay with us for those stories. Welcome back to National EMTV News. We continue with more local stories, and with the recent COVID-19 restrictions uplifted, tourism is slowly picking up. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, says cruise liner tourism will be looked into to have more tourists coming to PNG shores. He said with more cruise liners expected in the country before the end of the year and next year, 2023, the industry will need government support to build proper facilities.
Following the uplifting of COVID-19 restrictions, PNG was able to welcome its first cruise liner into the country recently. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, in an interview with EMTV, says cruise liners will be promoted to boost local economy. He said the first cruise liner to PNG this year since COVID-19 had a total of 3,000 tourists on board.
Ship tourism is one thing that we must now explore and we must now promote in the country. It's about tourists from Australia, tourists from America, tourists from Europe, and right across the globe using the cruise liners to visit the most remote parts of the country.
He said that before the year ends, more cruise liners are expected to hit the PNG shores.
If a tourist spends about $5 in buying a souvenir, in buying a cabin, or in buying anything, a cap or t-shirt, $5, if one, and you multiply that by how many? 3,000. 3,000 times what you call 5, it's 15,000 already.
However, Minister Leonard went on to saying that the industry needs more government support, especially with its facilities. He said every year tourist cruise liners that bring in tourists into the country have no proper terminals to dock the ship, and therefore making it hard for tourists to leave the ship, come out and visit local tourism sites, let alone buy more local souvenirs.
From what I gathered from the cruise ships is that we don't have the infrastructure. No proper cruise ship terminal. What we use in our merchant ship terminals, like Alatau, we use in PNG Port Wharf, overseas wharf, where they shed storage of cargoes. Either you offload and store, or you move from the storage to the ship for shipment. So there's no proper facility. And a lot of our tour operators miss out. Because there's no facility, they come and they're far away from the ship. Tourists come down, no public transport, they return back to the ship and just sit idle.
Minister Leonard said the industry needs to be fully supported by the national government, and it has the potential to boost the country's economy and in return promote PNG's diverse cultures, traditions and languages. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
The former member for Dade District of Western Highlands Province, Wesley Nukundi Nukunj, has donated a new vehicle to the Melpa Lutheran Church yesterday. The head bishop for Melpa Lutheran Church in PNG, Stanley Mukate, said this is a first of its kind for them to receive such a new vehicle, which will be helpful to them to carry out their church activities.
The former member bought this vehicle while he was a member to donate it to the Melpa Lutheran Church at the National Convention, which was supposed to be held in September this year, but due to the national general election, they have deferred the convention to December. While presenting the vehicle to the church yesterday, the church council members decided to dedicate the new vehicle with a short dedication service officiated by Reverend Daniel Anis from Herman Strauss Theological Institute. On behalf of the church, the head bishop thanked the former member for the kindness shown. He said this is a real token of appreciation he had shown to the Church of God, as he himself is also a Christian member of the Melpa Lutheran Church. The Melpa Lutheran Church was officially registered and launched on the 9th of January 2000 as a third Lutheran church in Papua New Guinea. The two others are the Evangelical Lutheran Church and the Good News Lutheran Church in Papua New Guinea. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Last month, the Papua New Guinea Teachers Association President Aita Sanankepe was arrested on grounds of misappropriation of funds belonging to the PNGTA. It was claimed that he used the funds to purchase a Toyota Land Cruiser for himself. The executive members of the PNGTA in Port Moresby clarified that the vehicle bought in 2021 was to use for administrative purposes. This was made known in a press conference held in Port Moresby earlier this week.
Following the complaint from some teachers in Port Moresby regarding the vehicle, President of PNGTA, Aita Sanankepe, says as per the contract under PNGTA, the association should use the vehicle. Reasoning the fact that Port Moresby City is big, they cannot walk along to do administrative work. Currently, the vehicle is still awaiting formal registration. He says former executives have not taken good care of the association in previous years. Hence, in his term in the office, he will continue to work to address issues faced by teachers in the country. He stressed that ongoing issues like leave fares for teachers, postings and others need fixing. While this association exists to help address issues faced by teachers, the president is appealing to the education department to work together for the interest of teachers around the country. Jim John, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome to True Kai Sports. We begin with round 6 of the National Soccer League, and the Men's National Conference Soccer League 2022 went into round 6 this weekend, with 3 games played this morning at the National Football Stadium. NCD and Hikari United kickstarted the matches, which saw Hikari running up a 9-0 scoreline against the hapless NCD side.
In the first half, Hikari were too strong, scoring 2 goals from the opening whistle. At halftime, it was 6-0. It was a tough game for NCD in the second half. Hikari's goal-scoring fest continued. Hikari had all the momentum and won the match 9 goals to NCD. Matches will continue next week as the NSL adds into round 7. Estagane, True Kai Sports.
To another form of soccer now, and the Papua New Guinea Cancer Foundation, along with PNG Ports and its implementation partners, started its inaugural 2022 Mousegrass Futsal Tournament yesterday and finished off today at Sejonggai Stadium Indoor Complex. The 2-day activity aims at promoting a healthy lifestyle in PNG.
Before the tournament started off yesterday, the Director of Medical Service Paradise Private Hospital, Dr. Polapoi Chalau, did an awareness presentation on prostate cancer. The tournament also includes exhibition spaces for supporters and basic health checks throughout the 2-day event. The fundraising officer of PNG Cancer Foundation, Kelesta Mawesi, said about 14 teams are participating in this tournament, including both male and female.
We want to encourage early detection because in the cancer space, the very core front of the continuum is the awareness and prevention method, or awareness and prevention. Later you come to diagnosis, and then you come to treatment and the palliative care. The first and foremost is the prevention part of it. So that's what we want to advocate, or that's what we want to bring awareness, that men do also have cancer.
Kelesta said there are a number of sponsors for this year's tournament, and she also invited other corporate businesses to be part of them going forward.
We have the PNG Ports, who are major sponsors. We also have our event sponsors like Number One Trophy Limited, we have Telecom PNG, we have Theodis Limited. We also have our event partners and our event implementation partners. We have the Paradise Private Hospital, as well as the City Pharmacy Limited. And our event managers, the PETA Limited. Yeah, so the tournament is the initiative where we bring men together in one room and to start up the conversation, because unlike women talk about their health openly.
She said this is a first of its kind to host this tournament, and they are looking forward to have this annually. Estagane, True Kai Sports.
True Kai Sports continues after the break with more sports stories. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
You're watching True Kai Sports. To overseas sports now, and the Australian Kangaroos are the first team through to the men's semi-final of the Rugby League World Cup.
Kangaroos beat Lebanon 48 points to 4 in the quarterfinal in Huddersfield. Winger Josh Adokar finished the match with 5 tries, having scored a hat-trick in the first half alone. Australia will now play the winner of Sunday morning's match between New Zealand and Fiji.
Don't forget to watch our PNG Kumals take on the Pride of England at 12:30 PNG time, right here on EMTV. And Australian hopes to defend its T20 World Cup title now rest with the England.
Australia needed a big win to improve its net run rate enough to put pressure on England, who now need a win over Sri Lanka in Sydney to make the semi-finals at Australia's expense, but instead laboured to victory over an Afghanistan side who kept the pressure on throughout. Glenn Maxwell top scored with 54 as Australia made 8 for 168 batting first, but a 23 ball 48 from Rashid Khan kept Afghanistan in the hunt until the final overs of the match. Earlier, New Zealand booked a spot in the semi-finals after beating Ireland by 35 runs.
Being able to sort of show how we feel like we're playing as a group, and tonight was a good opportunity to have that perfect game, and maybe we should have sent Finchy out for the toss instead of Wadey, but who knows what would have happened. But that's as simple as it can get. It's just we've just probably missed the big moments probably too many times, and missed a few opportunities during games.
That ends True Guys Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Guys Sports. True Guys Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, cloudy, thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy, thunderstorms. Kerma, partly cloudy. Alatau, fine and sunny. And Popondetta, fine. Mamasa region, Ley, cloudy and thunderstorms. Wau, showers. Madang, cloudy and thunderstorms. Wewak, showers and thunderstorms. And Vanimo, partly sunny. The New Guinea Island region and Lorengau, fine and showers. Kavian, cloudy and showers. Kokopo and Rabar, cloudy and showers. Kimbe and Buka, cloudy and showers. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Warburg, showers and thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Before we go, don't forget to watch the PNG Kumul's quarterfinal match against host nation England at 12:30. And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 5th of November 2022. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.